It was now for me maho akwaba by the second series of the Bonofie podcast. Me jili say bia energy first series he ho. Na wa wenyentie first series he me pese obeko akwakotie. Me din bio signed Nana Ama Kwache, and I'm here today to talk about the Meko Bono journey. You all remember that in the first one, we did talk about Bonofie giving birth to Meko Bono. Bonofie de Meko Bono ebaye. Na ene me pese yedi Meko Bono ho enkomo. Niema bebre ya kwa unim efa Meko Bono ho. Inti ene mema we hu bibia pepe. So just stay tuned with me, and if you have any questions, just leave it and I will get back to you. So me pese obe subscribe to this channel so that say nyakopon ya dom na se yede any other audio eto hanum se efa bono man ho efa kan man ho efa Ghana man ho onso obetimi enya bi etie midin bio edit Nana Ama Kwache. I was there for Meko Bono started in the year 2020. Now, make I say 2020. It is because that was when Bonofie started. The idea actually, and as originally, started in 2020 after we had met online and everyone was excited. Bia Pesena, a first one, he ekunu krum in Tia Tuaba and Doma one, Senka Yemfanko Doma, which would have been the very first one, and that was going to be in 2021. But of course, nananamo sha besida bi COVID aba wan she year e de asembeba enti huma yentwin koye nim kakra enti ye nananom eti ase ne esita bi enti me Meko Bono abra COVID aba, cause Meko Bono brings a lot of people. At that time, we had not had Meko Bono before, so we didn't even know the crowd that was gonna come up, but we anticipated that it was going to be a large crowd because everyone was excited about it. When I say everyone, at that time it was mostly the Bono people. They were very, very excited about the whole thing. When finally 2021, later part of 2021, COVID was getting better, Nipa Beti Mieshia and all that. After 2022, everything was cleared up. We decided to let it be a reality instead of a dream. So a dream that came true became a reality for us. And so in 2022, we had our very first Meko Bono. This is a lot, and sometimes talking about this makes me get emotional because in ye biane ote Meko Bono he ase in ye biane ote all the work that goes on ewechiri underground work aye in ye biane ote ase, and because of that inti eya yempese ye bekaya sem bebre ancestor okane bebre a unipa enti ase still. But at the end of the day, the here ye kesene say each Meko Bono has been successful, and that is all that we require. That is all that we need, and that is all we pray for. It is very tough. There have been so many challenges, so many challenges. In fact, say ode Bonofie ede Meko Bono eba. Bonofie in the first place, no, nobody knows Bonofie. To be frank with you, yenim say online for the yenim Meko Bono yenim Bonofie. Actually, yenim Meko Bono in the sense that the name had been out there in the public domain, so people knew about it. But when it comes to some of the stakeholders, nobody knew about it. Let's say the chiefs, let's say the ministers or the local government, they didn't know about it. But these are stakeholders, and they all needed to accept, they all needed to know what it was all about. And that was one of our greatest challenges during the beginning of the Meko Bono festival, we had to convince everyone that we are not scam, that yenye nkraboni bia ase yete nkraboni ku ni yede nananom ebefra. You understand? Nye hini bia ne oji etum in the first place. And this is the Meko, Bono and Bonofie podcast. So I am going to say it as it is, but not in a filthy or bad way. I will give you the details of everything that we've been through. This is not just about Bonofie, this is not just about Meko Bono, but this is about us. And see, nananom bebre ya honoma ne was say ye call convince sebe. There were some obi to say nana suma mai hene, and I had said it a couple of times. I said nana suma mai hene gave us no tough time. Nana suma mai hene de ye kone honoma pe. He's like, okay, I'm on board, because he believed in us. He didn't know us. We had no connection with him at all. But then he listened to us, and then he fell in love with what we were trying to do. So he just jumped on with us. Nana suma mai hene, and we give shout out to Nana right now. Oh baby, and Nana will be a nyanko ponshano. Nana has said to us that he is always going to be with us. Umpe we na pemme. When ya hene anasa him for dodo se nebeka se achana se impenyu for dodo se mpo nebeka sa se we say a day actual. Inti Nana suma mai hene is one of them. Afi tatam hene ne osaje for si ade yo agyeman bedu enyanya proper contact na ye ne nana ekasa ye nana empenyimfo he bi ene ye ne be kasa. But of course be ye doma people say for who him doma and the love that they have as Bono people. So they fell in love. Fortunately, when we're finally able to get in touch with Osajifo, he also had no questions. Osajifo asked no questions. Osajifo also jumped on, and he believed in us as well. So these two are him for him. They were the very first ones that beji yetum. I feel na before then cry and they were hini bi say your friend nana friend pong we free mo me person ka me bonedin but nana no ye konti hine awo boyem ono. Nana has been with us from day one. Nana was part of the online group a Facebook group no. Nana was with us. Nana betu ye phone. Nana be trust ama offer her ama offer her enye. Nana was the one that first called me Bono Hema. Me ka chance Nana my friend me Bono Hema na bebe bo me osida bi we Bono Hema. And of course na menya nkane Nana ene ye hanum say because say after first Meko Bono na Nana meka che Nana say Nana next year be start ye bi o say ama say me wa hoden ko ade na say metin koma meba. Unfortunately Nana enti me antwen ye for the second Meko Bono, but Nana eja ye hokoye, and we could not comprehend what actually happened. But nyame eya ho, he would never leave us alone. Enti yakopon maye ahim foforo enimpen foforo beneye etna ho. It was the first time I bought him for him dia benim ya honoma mere ebe frebe benom so dia they gave us tough time seriously. And homa menka because Mr. Meka binomo my a tough time, and this tough time I personally understand, because me baby nasa woba nasa say oye nyamea or say me make sure say me ahwehwe mu ye ansana me hunu say ampa senti oye nyame enye sa manhwe yi a majiwe di keke anhwa na asem aba beto me. A very good example Nana Trouble my hene, and Nana me say me contacted Nana Trouble my hene the very first time. I really loved him from that day, because Nana Kachira me said na me yede me hunu say pastor with your Bono ni now you have a good intentions, because there are so many people who are going about claiming they are Bono people, collecting history and stuff like that, granting interviews, and they are actually not Bono people. That made me fall in love with him. And then mami hunu say no, Nana is genuine, and he seeks the interest of his people. And see, from that day here, I was like, Nana, me website ni, Nana me social media ni, me Facebook ni, my for a long time. Until Nana be to me, I verify. I believe said Nana checked it out. I wore I him for binomon swap bentias, and I even asked her today. Me yes our podcast. Me sure say I am for binomo ya honoma bentias. One of the biggest hurdles that we currently do have is some of the people and some of the chiefs thinking that this whole agenda was to make money with the chiefs. And this is not true. In actual fact, our plan BBC just for the whole of Bonoman, putting two regions together, and then you say or the bar beji and I saw the bar pisika I started this whole thing, this Bonofie, Meko Bono, and whatever it is, from my own passion, the passion that I have. I had the zeal or the drive to do something, and after that I also found something that would match or something that would go with my passion, which is the culture. Obeka saying in Ayoko school here na your questions that your mama ni papa no bisaye, they'll be like ebia ama who school me subject near subject when it hopa. Then I'll be like ebia science, it'll be son waka ebia maths. In actual fact, science and math were never my favorite subjects. You know what it was? Cultural studies. The friend of cultural studies, my name said the friend. I think along the line they started calling it RME. But cultural studies has been my favorite subject from infancy, if I should say, from the time my name said Meko school, because for some reason I love anything that is culture. I love anything that is tradition. But Ubeda ko catch your mama say, oh, favorite subjects in the cultural studies. I think unity. Cultural studies now go ahead. Oh, we have become an answer bed and on just say a common and so near mammy near papa, especially those of us who come from a Christian background, we saw certain things differently. And I say, yeah, who says that your culture to say the eco school, even when you want to join the cultural troop at school, they will be like, nope, you cannot do it. Why? Because emfa abrabo popebia embro, and they will discourage you. So men say and me try and draw him be my favorite subject is science. If it's a same menu in our baby, so Miss Mel lawyer. Obviously, hey, yeah, what obey lawyer. And so nah, that was not my passion. So starting Bonofie and Meko Bono, like I said, was out of passion. It was not to make money or with anybody's name. And I say, baby, I keep telling people that me, Nana Ama Kwachi, how many people do you know me? But how many people go, or how many chiefs do you go or attend Meko Bono, and their faces are everywhere? So if I want to get the fame from it, or if I want to make the money from it, I will not be showcasing the faces of my abled chiefs. I will not be doing that. So if you have that intention, say Meko Bono is for making money from ahemfo no sigede ahemfo ebe meki sikadia eni ebusiafo meka say hweti, because that was not the intention. I started preaching. So we'll be a first series in the podcast here. I started preaching about unity. I started talking about we registering our dialect, which is Bono dialect, and then we teaching it in schools and stuff like that. Why would I go through that long route just to make money with the names and faces and the presence of the chiefs? No, I wanted something good for my people. This was my calling. This is my calling, and I love it. And I know say the bia meka or Facebook say bia nsmame me anamas mame ho da mebrehe mejai. All right, coming back to the challenges that we have had with Meko Bono Ebusiafo, Sika is one of the major challenges that we have had with Meko Bono. And it is very interesting. But like I said, this is the Bonofie podcast, and I will let everything out as much as I will remember. When it comes to Meko Bono, funding has been, me fan say, 80 to 90% has been my personal funds that I use for Meko Bono. So imagine if I want to make money out of the chiefs, would I use so much money? Now, people don't know how much it costs to organize one Meko Bono. It is a lot of hundreds of thousands of Ghana cedis. That is what we use. We use to 50,000 Ghana, and I say be 20,000 Ghana near the Meko Bono. Because imagine, Nkrofonkwa beba Meko Bono ebe volunteer he na udi volunteer ba nti man aduane nti man baby nda so what we say next time he no so okwa maybe even volunteers transportation most often than not would have to be paid. Performances say so now grow way up but all has to be paid, and who pays them? It is a lot. It is not Meko Bono is not organized by Nananom, but hopefully someday Nananom will get to host Meko Bono, because that is my dream. Said Chinebihi Nananom will come and own this Meko Bono. And because Nananom are not the ones organizing it, of course, they do not actually, or they are not the ones who fund Meko Bono. Meko Bono is funded by Nana Amakwachi and some loved ones who actually also support, and a few people who come in to sponsor. Sponsorship is very difficult for us because we are a baby organization, and see baby, but at least yeah, your first one, yeah, your second one, and even the third one. So now we have the proof, so we can actually bring something to our sponsors. We can bring something on board to our sponsors. And see, it was therefore minimum set. This series is getting longer, but I will continue with this series very soon. So stay tuned, and we will continue with the part 2 of the Meko Bono's journey series, in the next episode. So the way if you haven't subscribed already to this channel, just go ahead and subscribe, because there are so many things that I will make known to you that you are not aware of it. So many things will come up, and like I said, I will tell you how it is. I'm not going to cover it, but I'm going to be decent. I'm not going to insult anyone. So I do not insult. I do not insult. So I'm not going to insult anyone here. So would you say, and you want to leave a comment, please do not put in an insult. Let's see how we can bring a better Ghana and a better Akan, a better Bono. We shall meet again very soon in our very next series and continuation of the Meko Bono series.